Y'all thought I was crazy before when I picked the Dallas Cowboys to beat the Eagles, but who's crazy now?
It's a Pick'em league. It's the MTP Pick'em league. We like football, we like big TDs, we like defense, we like MVPs at the MTP Pick'em league.
Alrighty, so we were 117-60. I would say we're doing pretty good, although we have the third best record, win-loss record in the league. But your boy is still in first place because he's killing the confidence points. That's really been the deciding factor, and I got a pretty good lead when it comes to the confidence points, but it can never be too big of a lead. We need to get back into the top record as well and really have a stranglehold over this whole Pick'em league this year. So starting off, we have the Jets and the Falcons. I don't care which team wins. I really don't have a dog in the fight. I do think the Jets have been playing a little bit better as of late, and the Falcons haven't been playing great, but maybe under Kirk Cousins, they can operate a little bit more smoothly, and we can see the Falcons pull off a win here, but I would not be surprised if I'm wrong and the Jets win this game. I really just don't care either way. Next, we got the Packers and Lions. This one I do care about. I want my Packers to win. I'm a cheesehead. If you did not know, if you haven't watched the other videos, I'm a Packer fan. So I got to rock with the Packers through thick and thin. And we're going to pick the Packers over the Lions, but my confidence is extremely low in this game. So, yeah. But, the Lions on Thanksgiving, they don't have a great track record. So I'm picking my Packers. I have faith in Jordan Love even when everybody else does not. Next, we got the Bears and the Eagles. Went with the Eagles here. Obviously, I'm a Packers fan, so I'm going to be like, I hope the Bears do not win. But also, I think the Bears just are a young team, and this is the first real challenge. Given the history of the organization and the teams, kind of falling apart late in the season and the stretch of games coming up, this would be an eye-opening game if they do pull off the win here, especially when you have the Lions and the Packers that all, just lost, or both just lost to the Eagles. The Bears coming out and getting a victory over the Eagles would be extremely eye-opening. And I mean, it would be a good step for the Bears organization and all of the naysayers like myself for the Bears franchise. This would be a statement win for them. So I definitely could see them being extremely motivated to get this win over the Eagles. The Eagles also haven't played great lately. Their defense has been amazing, but offensively, they have not been anywhere near an offense that should be an 8-3 team, or what I would expect of an 8-3 team. The Eagles actually are very similar to the Packers in that way, is in the defense has been, for the most part, in most games, really good, and the offense has had moments of greatness this year, but they haven't had that consistent greatness that you really need to be a contender in this league. So I do actually see the Eagles and the Packers fairly similarly when it comes to that. Next, we got the Buccaneers over the Cardinals. The Cardinals just are a train wreck. The Buccaneers, even if they are without Baker Mayfield, which I think Baker Mayfield, knowing him, he's going to try everything in his power to play. I don't think they've officially ruled him out yet. But regardless of if it's Baker Mayfield or not, I just think there's more talent on the Bucs. They're a better coached team. And I could see them getting the win here. But this will be a lot closer than people give it credit. And I could see the Cardinals causing the upset here. That's why I have them so low on the list relative to other teams. Next, we got the Dolphins and the Saints. Very similar to the Jets and Falcons game. Could care less who wins this game. Don't have a real strong urge to pick one way or the other. I went with the Dolphins because they have a better record. They have more talent. They have the better quarterback. They should have a better coach. I just feel like everything's kind of on the Dolphins' side here to get this win, although they have underperformed in these games. They normally are a type of team that plays to their competition, sadly. And If they play a lower team, they're going to play lower football. If they play a tougher team, they might still play lower football, but there is a chance that they could pull out and play amazing. That's just the read I have on this Dolphins team. Next, we have the big upset. You guys thought I was crazy last week for picking the Dallas Cowboys over the Eagles, but I'm doing it again. We're staying in the flames with the Cowboys. We're going Cowboys over the Chiefs, but again, I'm not that confident. This is probably, these games, maybe the next game is where I really, after the 7th game, I think is where I really start getting a little bit more confident in my pick. But none of these I'm extremely confident. All of them could go the completely opposite way, and I would not be surprised. Yep, this is where we start getting a little bit more confidence. The 49ers, Browns. The 49ers have been a unique team this year. They have been winning games in every which type of way, and you love to see that, especially from a super banged up team, them still be able to get the wins and still be able to put teams away when they need to, even with backup quarterbacks, backup on backup wide receivers. All their weapons have been hurt at some point in this season, and yet they're still at 8-4, which is really a testament to their coaching and their team and their environment and the way that the standard of play that they have. Even with losing one of their primary defensive players and Fred Warner early in the season, they've still been able to stack wins, and it's never been pretty. They've been in a lot of nail-biter games, but they still get the job done. The Browns, their defense is probably one of like a top 3 defense in the league, but their offense is equally as horrible when it comes to the opposite side of the ball, and they just haven't been able to get those wins. Maybe Shedeur Sanders is the little electric battery or the spark that they need on the offensive side to really start winning some of these games. But when you do have a whole bunch of teams, every single team passing on you multiple rounds, and you drop all the way to the 5th, at some point that has nothing to do with your father. That has to do with the talent of the player, at least a little bit. So I'm just going to go with that's not going to happen. It could happen, but I'm going to go with it's not going to happen, and the 49ers are going to get the win over the Browns. Next, we got the Bills and Steelers. This game is another one that could go back and forth, but I do feel a little bit more confidence in this Bills team. They have had struggles finding a wide receiver that can, step up. They've had a little bit here from Coleman, a little bit here from Shakir, but overall, I think they have a better running back in Cooks, and I think they have a better quarterback, at least at this age, in Josh Allen over Aaron Rodgers. I think that they got caught off guard by how good Houston's defense was. I've never seen Josh Allen get sacked so many times in that Houston game, and I think they're going to come out for blood in this game and really try to reestablish themselves as one of those contender teams. And I think the Steelers get the brunt end of that focus in establishment. They're not going to let themselves drop to 2 teams at the caliber of the Houston Texans and the Steelers back to back. Not that either team is bad. I just think that there's like contenders, and then there's good teams, and then there's those like flirting with good teams above 500 teams that are kind of like, yes, they could be considered good, but they're not necessarily good all of the time teams. That's what I see the Steelers as, and I don't, and Houston Texans, and I don't really see the Bills losing to 2 of those teams in a row. So I'm going with the Bills. Next, we got the Colts and the Texans. The Colts have, proven themselves time and time, and you just got to rock with it. You just got to roll with it. The Texans defense is amazing, but I don't know if people are putting the respect on the Colts that the Colts deserve and need. So I'm going with the Colts here. I'm staying in the flame with the Colts and just riding it out. This next one's a little bit sad. My second favorite team is the Titans, but they look horrible. I will say Cam Ward and all the rookie receivers have looked a lot better these last couple of games, but I just think that they are outmatched in the Jaguars coaching, the Jaguars talent, and I just hope the Titans can turn it around, but I don't see it happening this year. I think maybe they're playing for, that top pick in the NFL draft this year, or at least they're really trying to get it. So we're going with Jaguars over the Titans. Next, we got Broncos and Commanders. Commanders, I heard whispers of Jaden Daniels coming back to play in potentially this game. I think that's crazy. I think it's more so, next week or the week after that Jaden Daniels could be coming back from his elbow injury, which is insane because when that play happened, I thought for sure he was going to be out for the season and maybe not even ready for the beginning of next season. But he escaped a lot of really bad injuries that look like that, and he's somehow potentially going to be ready to play. So it's the Commanders, but even with Jaden Daniels, they haven't looked great this year at all. And then you had the Broncos, and the Broncos just have looked like that team. They have looked well coached. They have looked well prepared. And I think they have enough weapons to get it done again on that defensive end and on that offensive end. So I like the Broncos here. Next, we got the Ravens and the Bengals. The Bengals defense is just one of the worst in the league, and the Ravens offense is at least top half of offenses, if not a little bit above average. I think it's hard to not pick the Ravens in this game by like a zillion points. Yeah. I just don't think with Joe Flacco you have enough firepower to get in a real shootout against this Ravens defense. And even if they were to get Joe Burrow back, I don't know if Joe Burrow is... A lot of people are on Joe Burrow is so great. Yeah, he has great weapons. I just don't know if they have it. Plus, you got a suspended Chase, Jamar Chase for the spitting thing. I'm Ravens all day, every day in this situation. Next, we got the Rams and the Panthers. Now, the Panthers are a good team. They're in that kind of same category as like the Texans, the Jaguars. What was the other team? The Steelers are in that conversation. The Rams are just operating at another level. The Rams are one of the best teams in the NFL right now. And Matthew Stafford is playing at an MVP level. And there's nothing that is going to convince me that he's not going to continue playing at it. Davante Adams has brought so much more diversity to the offense and just another playmaker. The person that was able to get Davante Adams and Puka Nacua on the same team with a healthy Matt Stafford, that person is genius. Because it looks like you're watching like an orchestra out there. It's like watching art. It's like football at its purest when they're on offense. And the defense isn't bad either. The defense isn't like amazing, but their defense can definitely get it done. They can definitely get to the quarterback, and they can put pressure on teams in ways that not every team can. So I like the Rams and the way they're playing. Next, we got the Seahawks versus the Vikings. The Vikings with J.J. McCarthy just have not looked good. And I know a lot of people are now out on J.J. McCarthy. Me personally, I never saw the J.J. McCarthy thing. I thought it was more of a hardball offense that he was in that allowed him to be as effective as he could be. And not to discourage the level of competition in the college world, I just think it's a lot easier when you have a great coach to overcome some of the talent that is out there on the field every single day. And that's not to discourage anybody. They're a better athlete than me. I never played college football, but I just think there's a different level of game that happens at this level. And I think J.J. McCarthy could get there. But what he really needed was he needed the Jordan Love, the Aaron Rodgers type of situation where he came in and he sat behind somebody who was aging superstar. Like his perfect comp would be sitting right now behind Matthew Stafford, learning everything that he does, getting that to really be optimal position to take over a franchise. I think JJ is kind of getting a raw deal. Because he was drafted so high and had such expectations, especially after Sam Darnold took this team to a 14-1 season last year, or whatever it was, 14-3 season, whatever it ended up being, 2 season. It was crazy how Sam Darnold was doing, what Sam Darnold was doing with this team versus what J.J. McCarthy's doing with this team. And I think a lot of that's just he's underdeveloped. He's underdeveloped, and they kind of just threw him into the fire, and they gave him really high expectations coming into this season that he just isn't really fitting into, and he's been injured. So it's just a hard road for JJ McCarthy. The Seahawks, Sam Darnold coming back, revenge game. I think the writing's on the wall for the Vikings. If they don't already have a nail in the coffin, this is going to be the nail in the coffin for their season, and they're not going to have any more playoff hopes after this, especially in the division that they are in. Next, we got the Raiders and Chargers. Raiders have not looked good in any game. I haven't seen a single Raiders game where I thought that they were an average team, let alone an above average team. The Chargers have looked great at times. I would say they're just slightly above like that Panthers level. Like they're just the next group above the Panthers and whatever teams I all named earlier. So I think the Chargers will get it done. I think they have a great coach, and I think in the NFL, coaching really matters. Coaching really can be the difference in a lot of these upper echelon teams, to a point that I wasn't even really like aware of in the past. I think I'm just becoming a lot more aware of the coaching difference between really high level teams. Next, or lastly, I believe, I think this is the one I'm most confident in. Yep. Lastly, we have the Patriots over the Giants. I do think Jackson Dart is coming back, and I think he's going to play, but I don't think he's enough to overcome the Patriots. They are just a wagon right now, and they are killing it game in and game out, and I don't see a lot of teams really stopping the way the Patriots. They kill you in all phases of the game, and Drake May might just be that dude. The conspiracies are out there that he's a clone of Tom Brady. I've seen some pretty interesting images side by sides. And you know, I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to say no. He just may be. Pun intended. Pun intended. But that is my picks for this week. Hopefully you guys have a good Thanksgiving, and yeah, I appreciate you guys sticking through the video. Let me know what picks I got right, what picks I got wrong, which picks you completely disagree with, which picks you completely agree with, and hopefully next year we'll have more people join at the beginning of the year, and we'll do this all over again. Until the next time, love you guys so much. Peace.